Hello and welcome to a TCB match report. Yes, I'm giving my reaction and opinions on yesterday's Community Shield. Yes, I was lucky enough to find myself some tickets due to a friend of mine, a very kind friend of mine that offered me the chance to go to the Community Shield. I'm very happy and very thankful of him. Yeah, I went to the Community Shield yesterday and it was absolutely amazing. That means I've actually been to Wembley twice this year because I went to go see the playoff final as well, which a video may be coming out about that later. But I thought I should try and get a reaction and kind of match report video as soon as possible out onto our channel. So here it is. As you can see, I'm using my phone and as a camera today because I thought you might want to see my reaction and kind of look at this as well. So, yesterday's game was a very good game. It was nice and sunny. But it did have the feel as a friendly match, as a lot of Community Shields have done in the past. It was nice to watch, and there was some great football on offer. But it did have a feel of friendly, but that's not the point, because I enjoyed it so much. Man City were by far the better team, and that was shown in the scoreline and them winning it, of course. I think 2-0 flattered Chelsea a bit because Chelsea just didn't turn up. I thought they would turn up with the new manager of Sarri, but I think by the seams of it, Sarri hasn't been able to kind of implement his full kind of tactics as he did at Napoli onto this Chelsea squad yet, and it's going to take time. But yeah, Man City were unstoppable. I mean, you see clips of them on the TV and on YouTube, etc., and Facebook last season with their winning the Premier League. But actually seeing them in real life, you get a real kind of sense of why they won the Premier League. They just keep the ball. They don't let anyone else have the chance to beat them, if that makes any sense. They play in a manner which means that they are in control at all times, and it only takes maybe a mistake to beat Man City. They're just amazing to watch. And speaking of mistakes, both keepers well, if you didn't watch the match, they were absolute clowns at some point in time. Both were making rash saves that they couldn't hold, and it was a bit kind of worrying for the centre backs and the full backs if the goalkeepers were behind you. I mean, at one point, Bravo, there was a ball coming towards him. It was bouncing, and he just stood there, and it bounced over him, and he was like, I'm trying to do an impression, and then he had to scramble back. Luckily, it wasn't going in for him. But yeah, both Caballero, who's just come off of an embarrassing World Cup, not only for himself but Argentina, with of course the chip incident, and Bravo with his poor season last season, both were not making any kind of great comeback in this match. They were both pretty poor. But yeah, as I said about mistakes, it was a mistake that was a lead to a Chelsea goal. But luckily, even the mistake that Bravo made didn't lead to a goal for them. For Chelsea, luckily for Manchester City. Standout performers in the match, of course, you've got to say Aguero. I was surprised that Pep took him off, not when he was on his hat-trick. But yeah, he was just Chelsea made it too easy for him, and his finishing was just brilliant. As for Chelsea, there was not really any standout performers. Maybe the new kid, Odoi, Hudson-Odoi, sorry, he was very promising. I can imagine him fitting in well. I mean, I know he's got competition from Willian, because Willian doesn't look like he's going to be going to Barcelona or Real Madrid now. Maybe he can play where Hazard plays if Hazard leaves, but I think he can definitely make an impact from the bench. It was interesting, Tammy Abraham, the ex-Swansea loanee, came onto the field. He is sadly still a bit like Bambi on ice. I really hope he can improve his first touch, because he's got a real eye for goal when he gets the ball. But his first touch just lets him down, as I know from his Swansea days. But it was interesting to see him in a Chelsea shirt. But yeah, Azpilicueta was Chelsea captain. I thought he did an okay job. The centre back pairing of there was Luiz and Christiansen. They worked well. Luiz seemed to be fitting in Sarri's system quite well, and Alonso as well. As for Manchester City, it was good to see Mahrez, as I'll come on to a bit later. But other than that, it's just so efficient. There's not a lot else to say. It was good to see Laporte playing alongside Stones. But yeah, they were just efficient. Walker was brilliant. The whole team was brilliant, and that's why they won 2-0, really. Riyad Mahrez making his debut. He had a decent game, made a few poor touches, but I can see him fitting in well. Actually, me and my friend at the game were kind of joking, get the ball to Mahrez all the time, but whenever he did get the ball, he did kind of mess up a bit. But I think he can fit really well into this Manchester City squad by the looks of it. As for Jorginho, Chelsea's new signing, he was okay. He was eventually subbed off, as was Mahrez in the game, which I didn't know they were allowed to make 5 subs. But Jorginho, he looks to be a good player for Chelsea, and especially on Asari, because he's played with him over Napoli. So it'd be interesting to see how he does, but I reckon he'll do all right. He's got a good touch of the ball. He seemed to be playing well and passing well, and he might link up well with Fabregas. But I think he hasn't quite got used to the pace of the Premier League game. I know Italy can be a bit slow. The Italian game can be a bit slow, so he might need to step up to the plate a bit more with that. But I can see him fitting in really well. It was a bloody hot day yesterday, and they were actually having drinks breaks, we can see photos of now. So that was something new. And VAR was in use. It would be in the first game I would have ever seen VAR in, but there was no call for it to be used. Sadly, I would like to see what it was like from a fan perspective, because I've heard kind of people say, well, you don't get to know when it's going on. So I wanted to see that, but sadly I couldn't. So, but that's alright, I guess. At least there was no major calls, etc. But yeah, Manchester City deserved to win it. Of course, Premier League winners versus the FA Cup winners, I think, yeah, they just deserve to win it, really. I've said that a few times. I think, though, Manchester City will be unstoppable this year again, unless Manchester United or Liverpool can do something, maybe Tottenham, maybe Liverpool, maybe Arsenal, but I just don't see it happening, and I'll get more to that in the main podcast coming out on Wednesday. As for Chelsea, I think they're a good enough team, but for me, they lack teamwork, I think, as well. So I predict them kind of come top 4 still, but it'd be interesting. I think they'll build in the season. They'll build on to next season. I think Sarri will be the right kind of manager for the guy, for the role, especially with Zola as his assistant. But yeah, again, more to come on that in the predictions kind of podcast on Wednesday. But yeah, I really enjoyed going to the Community Shield. There's a few photos I've throughout this video. And I'm glad I could tell you my opinions. If you were there, maybe please let me know your opinions and see if I was correct, or if you think I was correct on any of them, or you disagree with me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this kind of match reports. I was so lucky to go to Wembley, and I'm really pleased I did. It's still a bit unreal right at the moment, the day after, but yeah. Thank you for watching this. Please like and subscribe. Go check out our other podcasts. Go check out our Football Manager videos. Link in the description. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see ya. Oh, don't forget to be awesome as well. See ya.